Hello again, this is Diabetus, and we're back with some more Final Fantasy V 4 job Fiesta. All tough sounds to make. And now, we haven't really talked about this during the streams, but let's talk about the water. Good, bad, Xbox quality? Your thoughts? So, the airship needs oiling badly. And unfortunately, I thought that sound was just going to be in that particular moment because drama? But no. That's just the World 3 airship noise that you have to deal with. So now Xdeath's gonna summon the Noid again. Or the Void, excuse me. Another Final Fantasy Final World thing. Or not Final Fantasy really, but especially RPGs in particular. I think, let's see, Final Fantasy VIII, I remember you were shut off from most of the towns in the 4th disc, I want to say. It had 4, right? Xenogears, I seem to remember some being shut out of a lot of towns in disc 2. Of course, Xenogears Disc 2 was just all kinds of a rushed mess. Still love the game, though. Square clearly put that in there for all the Moogle haters. They're out there. Oh no, not Licks! Oh no, Bart's is a kid, no! The only child sprite in the entire world, why? Why is their first instinct to yell for Beatus's help? Aside from the fact that I'm a very helpful individual, of course, but clearly not remotely in the vicinity, so it's kind of odd. The graphics, you're right, Lena. Could have been better. Needs a remake. We'll remake FF7, then FF6, we'll go backwards, we'll remake them all. We'll remake the FF3 remake for the DS. I played a little bit of it and was kind of underwhelmed. I'd never played FF3 before, but the remake was like, and it had the job system and everything. It was like, this isn't particularly fun. Pass. So remake that remake on the 3DS. Then Final Fantasy IV, that's been remade a few times. I know I said go backwards from there, now I'm talking about a completely strange order. And now Beatus is clearly piloting the airship with nothing but his own anger. Which, if that were the case, the airship should have crashed instead of just kind of earthquake itself. Also, nice lanterns on the airship. Didn't notice the light fixtures before. Very nice. Alright, so the world is fucked. We've been locked out of visiting a lot of places now. So let's cut to where the legendary weapons is at. Oh, no, I don't. I didn't mean to say yes! Actually, I did, but then I realized I've heard all this before already. And pardon me, NPC, but I have a Fiesta guidebook of sorts that kind of tells me what the important shit to look for is with the party that I have. Which in this case, all the summons, which is, I think, the bulk of the side content in World 3 is getting summons. A couple of spells, we've gone over this before. So if I remember correctly, this was the castle in a stream a number of strams ago where I went in there and people were like, get the fuck out of there. Do not want to go in that tower right now, or castle right now. So each tablet you get 3 weapons. And, conveniently enough, there are 3 optimal weapons. I did some research beforehand. 3 optimal weapons for the party that I currently have. Fire Lash, that's I believe a Beastmaster weapon. Can't use it, no thank you. Sage's Staff, I can use it, but I mean, it's not terrific. Magus Rod, though, besides being named after the anti-hero Chrono Trigger character, is very useful. So slap that on a summoner and, let's take a look. Elemental spell power goes up. So that means Shiva, Ifrit, Rama, possibly Titan, all become stronger. The bell, it's there. I have a Geomancer, so yeah. Has the power of Earth, which can be a good and bad thing. It randomly casts Quake, which is kind of cool. Excalibur you would think I can use, but I looked this up to make sure I didn't waste a sealed weapon slot. Mystic Knight cannot use it. Only the Knight, the regular Knight, and I believe the Freelancer can use the Excalibur. Kinda bullshit, in my opinion. Mystic Knight should be able to get that shit. I mean, it's an upgrade from Knight. Knight is still in the title. I'm still a Knight, but I am all mystic and shit. Mass Mune, Samurai, no, that's a bow. Clearly can't use it, not a ranger. So most of these weapons I don't have. There's an axe there, don't have a berserker. And which one was this? That was katana for a samurai, no. Or a ninja, samurai, I don't know. So as far as I could tell, this was probably my next best bet since summoners can use knives. It gives me an instant death option, should that come up, should that be a thing that would be helpful. And I remember hearing that for people who have lots of berserkers, or even just one, there's actually a weapon, an axe weapon, that causes instant death and is very useful. Undead enemies aren't too frequent in Final Fantasy V, supposedly. So, ergo, instant death can work on quite a lot of things, a lot of basic enemies. Now, the question is, will I even be fighting any of these? I mean, they look more like, things you would, virtual pets you would take care of than fearsome otherworldly demon creatures. Like they would go to the virtual PetSmart, not the Final Fantasy. They didn't come from the Final Fantasy demon realm. We'll probably fight a couple of them though. So we got some weapons, we've powered up the party slightly. Somehow did not get into a random encounter in the castle. Oops. So where to next, you may ask? Oh, well, I'm gonna tell you. Next up on our errands list is collecting some summons. Trying to remember how to trigger this cutscene. There we go. They can all actually see Sildra. They're just trying to convince Ferris that she's nutso. And then Kryl has to spoil the fun for everyone. Final Fantasy Fool's Day. She's saying she wants to help, or she's saying, "Oh God, help me, I'm in pain because of you, how could you do this to me? God, oh God, why can't I just pass on to the next world? I am in eternal torment, stuck in purgatory, and I resent you forever." Either that or help me. Or either that or I'll help you. Or help me, maybe just abridging all that first stuff, who knows. Need to adjust the antenna on Sildra. Flickering and shit. Don't be mournful, this is a time for celebration. 3 members of our party are now super powered up. Sildra. I had assumed from using it that it was a lightning-based summon, but that is in fact not the case. Further research revealed that this is a wind summon. So now I have, with that wind power, I've got all the elements, all the important ones, at my disposal. Which is great. So this town actually doesn't have, well, they have elixirs for sale, which is pretty cool. You farm up enough money for those. I didn't realize you could even buy elixirs in this game, or had just forgotten altogether. And astute Final Fantasy fans may notice that the NPCs in this village resemble the merchant from Final Fantasy VI. Remember in Locke's scenario when you go and steal the merchant's clothes and then the enemy name turns into birthday suit, and they're like, ooh, my, and then they teleport away because when you're naked, you can do that. It's fact. Anyway, the NPCs remind me of that. A town of mystical merchants. Now, if you're my party, there's not a whole lot here that's of use, I don't think. Again, this is something that was recorded before being busy with panel stuff. I'm also trying to remember why there was a heal pot in this village. Because, oh, that's right, there's a sealed door, I think, somewhere. Oh, and shut up. Indeed, but I apparently missed a piano somewhere along the way. Or there's another one in World 3 that I don't give a shit about. Huh. So this black chocobo gets something particularly important, or gets us access to a couple of very important things, which we'll be using once we clear. I don't know why I use the royal we. I think that's not a Let's Player habit when they're by themselves, devoid of human contact, no one to talk to, using the royal we for... because they're lonely. I'm lonely, guys. No one wants to talk about Final Fantasy Fiesta with me. I just want a buddy. Everyone's abandoned me. I'm gonna go to Phoenix Tower. I am gonna go to Phoenix Tower in a bit. So yeah, also time is all fucked up and shit in this village. There's some lost shit going on here. And also, I forget if I've talked to the person who says this, but you get a little hint that every store is not what they seem, because apparently every store has 2 merchants. Ooh. Unquestionable relevance to me since my party is so limited in what they can wear, they can use. And the stuff I'm missing is stuff that you can't really buy, I don't believe. Because I know with the Mystic Knight, there is the 2 elemental things left, which you find in a side quest. I know where it is. And the summons are just shit you pick up randomly. And this reminds me, I should probably get a get some of those. Because there's going to be some situational things that come up. Ribbon. Ribbon I used to think only the ladies could wear, which is most of the party, but apparently only dancers can wear the ribbon. Forgot about that, so useless. Oops, I forgot to cut out some of that item management, which is, I know, thrilling. And I know a lot of you are going to be disappointed, and there's going to be some fury in the YouTube comments at cutting out shop and item management with selling stuff and equipping stuff, but I made an executive decision after the fact to do that. Here's what you need to know though. Bought some couple of circlets, put some circlets on my summoner clets. I think I never mentioned that either in the pyramid or somewhere, I forget where, I picked up a protect ring, which is quite nice. That gives you the regen status. Regen. So that's handy. I put it on Kryl, because I don't know, why not? A quick poll for the no one left who's still watching this, unironically. What accessories do you prefer for your party? I know it's situational based on your class and whatnot. Elven Mantle seems to be quite good. I've been using it pretty consistently throughout the game. I've got Protect Ring on somebody. I think really it's just kind of down to those accessories for me right now. Elven Mantle and Gold Hairpin's not an accessory. It's a hair thing. Do accessories just not matter so much? Do accessories, are they just not worth a shit? They became worth a shit in the later Final Fantasies. Obviously, ribbon is great if you can get that shit, but I cannot get that shit. Pretty safe bet, you know, when you have your Mystic Knight, got a shield that has pretty good dodgy powers. That coupled with the Elven Mantle means it's hard to get hit. When you do get hit, put Drain Blade on, then boom, you're like immortal practically. It's great. Yeah, this door... Yeah, that's right. This is the one where I was like, what's the thing you gotta do to get in that door? And if I figure that out... All useless, by the way. And if I figure that out, is there even any point to going in there in the first place? That I have not looked up as of yet. I look forward to finding out and learning more. Unless you can't, unless there's the rewards for that side quest are meaningless, in which case, fuck it. So I've pretty much wasted all the time that I think needs to be wasted in this village. A couple of good pickups in the stores, some useless gear. I'm defaulted to being negative here. Some useful gear. Which means we can run our next errand, and there are two for the purpose of this video. We use the Black Chocobo to get us access to this large desert. There's a patch of trees here, which gives us access to the area. You cannot access it by airship as far as I know. There's no clear green patches you can land on. Which means we got some desert walking to do.